Been conversation as well that it could be SDP. However, yesterday morning, the list of the new leadership of the African Democratic Congress, the platform at which the new coalition wants to fly ahead of the 2027 election, was eventually unveiled. And then we have newly elected executive members, chairman, the former president of the Nigerian Senate, the Senate president for the 6th and the 7th. He was senator from Benue for 16 years. That's for 4 terms in office. 2 of those, he was the Senate president of Interior. Talking about Ogbeni Rᴏᴏᴜᴜ has been also the secretary of the party. And the conversation goes on and on and on. Welcome to This Is Not Catching You at the Wrong Place, especially if you're trying to find your way home at the moment. A studio time check, it's 4 minutes past the hour of 4, and if you're joining us for the very first time, I say you're welcome. We always run this conversation every Monday to Friday from 4 to 5:30 p.m. and this is not just the only program where you have the opportunity to talk about politics, sustainability, especially when it comes to issues of our democracy. We always start from Political Roundtable on Sunday 6 to 8 p.m. all the way up to Midweek Politics, Wednesdays 1 to 3 p.m. and of course the Situation Room, opinion about the topic. And out of nowhere, the special advisor to Ogbeni Rᴏᴜᴜᴜ on media, Mr. Shola Fashure, reached out coalition, which is the relationship between, I remember I asked him that question, that what if we've had over the years, and he said it's not going to happen, that they've crossed that bridge of reconciliation, so it's a dead end from both parties. So there's so much to talk about on the show today, but I have an insight for you. It's from the national spokesperson of the ADC. And so if you follow political conversation in this country, you'd always know that when a ship is about to sail, there's always some level of chaos at the dock, and that's exactly what is brewing in the ADC at the moment. From Dumebi Kachiku's interview yesterday night, the presidential candidate of the party in 20 court cases on the leadership and the faction within the ADC as well. So Dumebi Kachiku is saying that you guys have joined the wrong coalition. You've adopted, you absorbed yourself, you've allowed yourself to. He was also on TV yesterday, and I take a listen to what he has to say. When we come back, we go straight into the conversation. Mr. Mᴜyɪᴏ is live in the studio. He's the former head of political desk for Guardian newspaper, and he joins me every Thursday. Today on the show, break all of the chronicles down. Well, the FCT minister, Minister Nyesom was on TM1. All the major players in the coalition, from David Mark to Rotimi Amechi to Rᴏᴜᴜᴜ to every one of them, to Erufai, to Abubakar Malami, to Peter Obi, to Aminu Tambuwa. Mᴜyɪᴏ joins me straight up. He's live in the studio, and I will break all of these things down. Once again, you're welcome to the Situation Room, live on Mila 98.3.
So precisely, you cannot say we are not welcoming these coalitions. Any coalitions that will make the country to succeed in terms of providing all the necessary things to the populace of the country is a welcoming idea. And at the same time, when you see a group of like-minded people who have all it takes to change the narratives of the country or to change the situation and conditions that people facing in that country, it is a welcoming idea. We really welcoming the idea of coalitions on its own as an idea. The modalities and the process that was followed to conduct this coalition, it was totally undemocratic. It's totally undemocratic. People who are registered members of the party, they have been in the party for long. Even those that came today, have been mocking them, have been snubbing them and saying that you carry this, you take this, your party is not going anywhere. And you just come and bring them into the party without proper consultations, without any proper information. We are in a democratic society. For just one single person or a group of people to go and sit down in their own comfort zone, you understand, to start declaring this and that in a party which is belong to all Nigerians, I think this is not fair at all, and it is totally irrational, because you need to rationalize things before you come up with it.
Musa Matara, the National Publicity Secretary of the new bride in town, the ADC, African Democratic Congress. And like I said,
new bride in town.
Is the new bride. Is where everybody is going to right now. They said it's the next thing after sliced bread for the people that wake up every day. And then I look at the volume of information at my disposal to compress into 90 minutes. And I'm not just even plot, it's subplot, whatever English you want to use. But the Nigerian political space seems to spring up different side of conversations every single day. One moment you're talking about ADA, the next moment yesterday, I watched the new spokesperson of the ADC on TV yesterday as well. I also watched Musa Matara on TV yesterday as well. And everybody seems to be saying one single thing. The coalition is here to stay. Mr. Miwadeyemi, look at the moral justification to say they want to rescue Nigeria. And I'm wondering from who? But that's a talk for another day. Now the coalition is here to stay. It's taking shape. Now they have a platform which is an existing ADC.
Well, I think let's first appreciate or greet our... If we say that we were not expecting what happened, that means we are politically naive. Many Nigerians have been waiting for. Simply because I think we knew that PDP, is already, is suffocating. And somebody somewhere using to breathe. So, and they're waiting for the undertaker, to complete the assignment. That's for the PDP.
To nail the conflict.
Yes, the undertaker is already around. I'm talking of de facto one-party state. Because when we're talking of one party, I think as a political scientist, we have to be careful. Libya, in China, in some other, countries. But de facto one-party states is where you have constitution allows as many as 16, 18 register, almost 20, 30 parties, but only one party in party state, in Nigeria. And so all of us have been looking for what will happen. And again, remember, Okoyemi, that since last year, these political juggernauts in the opposition side, so that let's pull up, let's come together, under a big platform, to challenge, not only challenge the ruling party, but to play the role of opposition, which is essentially lacking in the political space now. There's no way you can enjoy democracy if you don't have a viral opposition. And if we have a viral opposition, I can assure you, Mr. President, youths here that could not afford. My wife run an NGO, so we know a number of brilliant, vulnerable students that we pick and they pay their school fees. So we know many Almanjeris up there that didn't want to be a common Almanjeri, but because school, go and see the state of primary schools. Go and see the state of nursery schools. Go and see the state of secondary schools in Nigeria. As I'm telling you, as I'm in this Lagos state, I know a place where students ask, and I ought to have done the story since, maybe this time around, I think I'll pick it up in Lagos State. You'll be ashamed that. So, and you begin to ask yourself, in Lagos State or any other place, when last the government built
schools,
primary schools? Go and see all these new communities. Imagine. Can you spot any innocent and hapless Nigerians, even that their minimum wage cannot pay school fees? You know, I think my son was telling me that I think it's not day 2 days ago. He's living in this Aᴅᴇɪᴜ estate somewhere there. That they're looking for a school for the my boy, the child too. It's about 500,000. The least primary schools that is around that place. You can think of taking your child donating in a country of less than 180,000 people, not up to a ward in Alemoso. Not, yes, St. Lucia.
They are less than 200,000.
It's about 178 or 179,000 people scholarship to come and study in Nigeria. You know, I think because it's very comfortable. I'm telling you the truth. I'm telling you. But so we have been looking for. Could that be your position? I think that is a reforms to have woman face. We have not had one because PDP, I think, is on the way. I think to mortuary, so it's dead already because we see anything. I read it. I think the Dr. Saraki can dream. There's no harm in for him to dream. Do you understand? Even in the Kwara state that he comes from. Do you understand? Can he win a councillor there? Now, can PDP win a councillorship election in Kwara State? And when they're talking of Kwara State and the PDP, I was talking to him. Do you understand? And I knew when I call the power of politics when Oluyi is speaking in Ilorin, when people are talking of Ileluke in Ilorin. Right. So what can anybody talk of Saraki family or he himself as a governor winning? I think there is word now as a distraction. So what I'm saying is that, so Nigerians are looking for also a strong opposition. And they want all these political juggernauts. If they can come together, of us, I think we're happy to see what happened. But I received everything with courteous optimism. Optimism. I would have loved just to start celebrating that we are now having a strong democracy. But first and foremost, I think the road is not going to be smooth as the optics is suggesting. No. They have about 6 cases in court, that is gone. So there is a faction now is telling them Kwashiorkor was the presidential candidate of the party, and there's one Dubem or whatever also, who was also the chairman of the party, that the man you are meeting is the wrong person. But what if, rightly or wrongly, but there are elements that there is a faction in ADC. And if there is a faction in the ADC, what happened now? Tinubu is not Jonathan, no. And I want our listeners to know that. And I want Nigerians to first ask one question. One was that some principals, which I don't want to mention names because we know ourselves, is that they were empowered by who your guess as good as mine, at least to frustrate every move by these people out of SDP. Suddenly, somebody just got enough resources to be going to television, radio every day and mobilize the state chairman against the national Rufai and his elements to stay. Those ants that pushed Rufai and his people out of the SDP, they are still alive and they know the game. Now, we are not talking of Kwashiorkor, right? Where you begin to see issues that anyone from now, you may, underline me, begin to see them now making issues for Atiku and Co. What are the issues? First, talking of happen, I can assure you, most of the politicians they have at the state level, zona or my description of these gentle guys, because tell me the caliber of people in ADC before, right? Just People that can, people that will just belong.
So, people.
Yes.
So, Dumebi Kachukwu was the presidential candidate of the last election.
That I'm saying. And he also has his own caucus now.
He has his own caucus in the party.
What's likely to happen now is that we will see Kachukwu now going around all these states
to mobilize.
Right. The same thing that happened in SDP might happen. What would have been the best for them is maybe the party they want to register, right? They wait for beautiful Ada to be registered by INEC. Do you understand? And they are now romancing with a. But that does not mean that while they were there fighting, do you understand? If eventually
you get registered,
and immediately that surfaced, so we are not talking about two Adas now waiting for registration. That is the same the abbreviation.
I know. I'm just putting that out exactly.
So we have two Ada waiting. Ada is a yellow purple or dark in complexion. I don't know. Do you understand? Until INEC told us the one they can't register two under such circumstances. I was surprised that all these people. There was when Obasanjo and Co were in office. It was not Obasanjo that registered all this they are talking about, and were they not linked to him? Have you forgotten about PPA? So I was surprised that Atiku was not having a party. He was nurturing till this time. I was surprised that somebody like El-Rufai, nothing will happen. Right? To a party that tomorrow, some people can be used, and thwart all this what you're talking about. So that's the first order they are likely to cross. Then secondly, is that, in Labour Party, when we were telling them there were moves in the Labour Party, they were good in analyzing matters, right? But people knew their closeness with Asiwaju, right? When people were saying that Kwankwaso was used for a game in Kano, I think the problem you have said will happen or what you want to do in the next 5 years. They've started doing the work. And they knew that at the appropriate time, the Ganduje will excuse him. Election. So some people just thought these were just happening. So the governor, Abba Yusuf, lost election at the primary. He lost election at the AP.
Then he won at the Supreme Court.
All the governors won the election at the Supreme Court. We are speaking politically here. This is not moral class. So it just happened like that. So tell me, most of it's a matter of time. Forget about Oti. It's about a matter of time. All the governors that won the election, that through Supreme Court judgment, do you understand? That all of them, Supreme Court did not
nullify any of
them. Even some that lost election at primary, even the one with controversial NYSC certificate that up to now could not be traced. How did it happen? So they had best of lawyers. They've written the
could rob mine.
And that's politics. So what people wanted to achieve in the next 5 years, smart politicians like Tinubu have started working on it. They've started working on it. So I was surprised that some of them could not have a political party on their own to fall back on. Not the one that legislation will follow. Change now. Maybe they are taking Oᴏᴜᴜ and Son chambers to handle some cases.
They'll build up sounds.
You will see some sounds now. Not begin to wonder that what happened. That is issue. The third one, they've not done anything new. As far as political history is concerned in this Nigeria, whether you talk of alliance, you talk of this and that. And the third one is that we want to know the modalities at which they work. Being PDP, what we are going to do is as ADC, we won't have a governorship candidate in your state, and you also will not support another presidential candidate.
Just like Abga is doing.
Abga is doing. Youth party. I can remain any party, do you understand? But I belong to this arrangement. So you protect me in my state, and I protect you at national level. Are they going to work on that? We don't know, right? Or it's like, right? So, but we want to see. So if we know how that will happen, that will now encourage us to begin to do analysis in that respect. And the fourth one, which is the major, is that we've seen many of these things happening like that, but at the crib of choosing their presidential candidate. That is what's going to define and give result to whatever they are doing now. Of course, if he wanted Nigerians to applaud him, if he wanted Tinubu people to go back to the drawing table, I would have expected to sacrifice my personal ambition. I'm not going to contest in 2027, but will spend all my resources, my time, my talents, my spirit. One now. Do you understand, my brother? They've got 30%. Suddenly, because Nigerians will take them very, very seriously. If Atiku can say that. Secondly, I was telling my brother before I entered the studio that if Peter Obi can now say, well, me, I don't know whether I'm going to choose, whether I'm going to choose me as a candidate, but I stand by what I said, that I was going to spend one time, right? That even if there's anything you want, we have to go back to Rome, and the Pope should bear me witness, that I'm going to spend one time. I'm going to swear with Bible in front of Pope. Election. Because Nigerians will begin to see them that if these people are ready to sacrifice their ambitions for these things to work and to get a strong northerner, not everybody need to sit down. Yes, the semblance, or we are not taking a path to continue his failed ambition under this arrangement that they want to be the flag bearer of that party. Is a customer that Danny. No contest. No contest. Or we are bringing arrangement. Let Atiku drop that ambition for the interest of Nigerians and people that wanted democracy to work in Nigeria. And Peter Obi to agree on that. I'm not saying Peter Obi should be, but I'm looking a scenario that the next 1 year should and keep APC on their toes. The next 1 year to our economy, to our people, even to everything we belong to in this country, in this world. A country that's not up to a word. So, we are saying, because let there be, I think, a crossfire, exchange of ideas, the same. That somebody is checking their back. Somebody is trailing them. But there must be a platform for Nigerians to believe this set of politicians. And therefore, somebody saying that are they not the same people that did this? Understand? Politicians are the same. Where we are all looking forward to chimney western.
Expectedly.
Yes, expectedly. You understand? But politicians are not. And they're not claiming to be one.
So it's a case of the devil and the deep blue sea.
That's it. They are all the same. Now tell me, the 7 rep member of Labour Party, it's not Labour Party, APC today, are they going through any baptism or they are going through any ritual to fit into APC? So suddenly to cross from Democratic Party to Republican, after you go through their schools, you go through certain training. That's why when a Democrat is speaking, orientation, agenda, what is saying, what is speaking about the social political system, you know that this is a Democrat. And when a Republican is speaking, there are certain things to expect of them, you will know. But in Nigeria, I'm saying that if they are progressive since at least so that's so by and large, what they did is good, but
the people has been a constant or a recurring conversation. If you listen to Atiku Abubakar, he says the Nigerian people are angry, the people are hungry. It's the same thing. So where is the place of the people that would vote in this whole conversation? In 2023 build-up, And then released million people that participated in that election. That's a low percentage. But I mean, event of the last 2 years, where do you place APC? There is the people factor in all of this conversation. Where do you place this, Mr. Adeyemi? And how decisive do you think the Nigerian people will be going forward?
I think in the place of the people is, I think as if you are there, at least let's assume we voted for you, right? And you got to that office through our mandate. Let's assume that we did got their votes. How many of them they are from various constituencies and areas of Lagos State? How many of them I think they've did a town hall meeting
with their reps,
with their senators, professional bodies in the community, I think students, everybody who are representative, and meet them. And it's for them to feel the impulse of their people they are representing. Do you understand? Or you assume that you know
all their problems.
You know what? In political science, that's why they call politics a master science. You can say for some people, if people are hungry, they'll be angry. But my brother, at times you get to some places when some people are hungry, they just be laughing. They won't have power to be violent if they won't think of violence. So to feel the pulse of the people, to know where
the shoe pinches them.
In this matter, it's not sitting down on these statistics at times, occasionally being orchestrated, doctored by Nigeria Bureau of Statistics, right? Telling us things are coming down, whereas because Nigerians have not been playing their roles enough. I used to say that one. We have not been playing our role as expected in the democracy. So some of us, we are all docile. So we say that we do what is right without knowing they are there for their selfish interests. So that is so. I can't see the place of our people not being protected.
Okay, so let's talk about the protest vote conversation. First off, let's look at on the side in presidential election in this country. It's no joke. In local government election, it's not child's play. Now, one of the constant things that most of these coalition leaders have been talking about, Mr. Adeyemi, is the fact that the people are poor. The people are poor. Rotimi Amechi said he's hungry. He said he's tired. He said he's this, is that. Do you think funding could be a problem for this coalition? And so if the funding is not a problem, don't you think 8 years, he was a super, I'm coming, Mr. Adeyemi, he was a super minister for 7 years and a few months. And just a few years out of office, the story is changing. Senator David Mark was 16 years as a senator. Etola was commissioner in Lagos, governor in Osun, and minister in Abuja. So you look at all of this. Aminu Tambuwal was speaker and governor of Sokoto for 8 years. Abubakar Malami was the attorney general of the federation for 8 years as well. You look at all of these people. You look at Aḍịsịrịka, I mean, the man in charge of the Nigeria air drama and all of that. Do this
money when I'm talking of democracy.
Okay.
Election. First and foremost, number 3 is how serious are they? Nigerians, those elections, we hardly have 30 million. That is, there are 70 million people that have not voted, right? And meaning that somebody has not been. We may not like American president.
And then they play the game for them.
They play the game on it. The way the foreigners are taking over, the way America is doing for that Christmas to the world, people are suffering it.
America first.
So let's say America first. We're returning America back to Americans.
On these foreign aids, our money going to other countries.
We go to other country. Do you understand? What's the business of funding HIV in Africa when their leaders are stacking their resources everywhere in Europe? Eligible voters, I don't understand, refuse to vote. Who is conducting research? Or who is playing that game that will strike them? And they know we have to. It's going to be between the APC and people that are hungry, right? Good. But are you now playing the game for Nigerians to trust you? I'm not happy with them. but we don't trust you. How many Nigerians will trust Atiku? You only need to start playing up and all those things. So they will continue to contest and fight that one till the time of election. During our point, Nigerians will react. If come to the extent that they have good, a novel idea, don't give us money.
We'll come out and
We'll
vote.
come out and vote for you. But mark you, they have money. So no matter what
Rufai
is talking about, Kaduna is still bleeding. Do you understand? So Kaduna is still bleeding. For David Mark, I think it was when period don't check and they were in power. Do you understand? That they never thought and
They
anybody
could lose
shake.
power.
So that's when he had sway. So all those people have money. The article, money on democratic structures. Do you understand? Tell me any radio, television station or newspaper that article is controlling. Do you understand? Tell me any NGOs, democracy that shape opinion of people. Go and domicile in Dubai, right? So they're making his money through his oil business to the extent now that for a governor of his state to strip him
Of his
electoral value dwindling by the place now. What's the electoral value in River State? Assembly.
Tamba couldn't even install his successor.
He could not because it was like a borrowed time. Surprises. But let's see the agenda. Let's begin to see the sound bite from them. If they have a good, don't talk about 2027 now. If I were to be one of their advisors or people handling their media work, don't talk about 2027 now. You understand?
Entrench yourself to the people first.
Entrench yourself by providing alternative solution. To understand? Come out with the blueprint for the economy of Nigeria. How rice can come back to 20,000 naira per bag. National grid with that grid, because of the band A and practical solutions Nigeria can trust. What call it? 12 or 14-day war between Israel and Iran, and Israel about 40 something. Put everything together is about 240 or 260 or 270.
That's
less than 300.
That's less than half of what Benny had lost in 2025 alone.
And you understand? But see the number of people we have lost in one state
Alone.
This year. And there was no war. So tell Nigerians problems. So by the time you begin to address all these issues, Nigeria will now begin to have trust and confidence in you. And that's what can lead you into having their votes. You with the incumbent. It's not possible. Zerebe said it. When it's going to tackle them money for money, rice for rice. I think that was 1970 money politics. So the point what I'm saying is that they have the space for them. Nigerians are watching at what is their the sound bites. What they stand for. Then they push a couple of months. Nigeria will see whether we've seen, I think, a Moses. Do you understand?
Lead us to the promised land.
Or we are still in search. Do you understand?
Buzzing and the messages on our social media have just been really crazy. But I want to ask you a straightforward question. The Labour Party of Senator Nnamdi is already endorsing Peter Obi's movement into the ADC. Comrade, I'm trying to remember right now, the factional leader right now of the party is also saying that, you know what, Julius Abure is also saying that we're giving you 48 hours. Knowingly, see a change of guard if this motion sets well ahead of 2027. A lot of people didn't see the Labour Party coming, right? And there was a massive force in that switch. Do you see this coalition making a local government? We're talking about 184,000 polling units across the federation. We're talking now, Mr. DME, do you see this really working?
You know, I think we cannot sit down here and easily postulate on that. We want to see them first. We've not seen their color. Unless you are coming from PDP, they want to play that politics in this new
ADC.
ADC. What Madam Elvai did in APC is what we wanted to come and do here, or the dominance role of Peter Obi.
Labour Party.
In Labour Party, he was like a king. At least, and you know David Mark is a disciplinarian, is a politician. He has experience himself. Do you understand? What's agenda David Mark wanted to pursue? Actors. If they discipline themselves more, people coming from PDP just remove the toga, and they forget the third umbrella.
Come clean.
Come clean.
Like a newborn.
Like a newborn. Do you understand? So, but we want to see them in the next couple of months to see if the manifesto here we agree on. Do you understand? A lot of them are speaking from that point of view. Do you understand? You know, if there's a good document agreed on, all of them are speaking to that document. So that you begin to hear all of them not attacking people, different angles, do you understand? But speaking to certain agenda. Right? So we now begin to look at all these sound bites. Do you understand? To see what is new in their political orientation and what they have to offer. It's what they have to offer that will determine what they are. You see some billboards everywhere, they will just put question mark. So we get to wonder which product you want to unveil. And you will see, at times they will buy certain spread and then be there for everybody. That, no, what is this? Television? That question mark will just come. That space, no.
Or not.
So it's not useful to you. You won't look at it. Let them put 100 question marks. Do you understand? Look elsewhere. Right? No matter now, let them be putting all these question marks. And next thing you see is that maybe something you cannot afford in Nigeria. Do you understand? So somebody is looking for bread to eat this night. Or looking for a job. Do you understand now? So, but let's see. It's like an envelope, a big envelope. A very big envelope. You know, a friend of mine, maybe I will end here. Okay, please. A friend of mine, I think there was, so they brought a very big envelope. And people thought, no, it must be something good. Wrapped in a very beautiful, I think, what do you call it? A wrapper. You know, when they open it, turn out to be tissue papers. Compressed. Right. Tissue papers. Do you understand? But if you see the presentation
and the expectation was high.
Yes. But let's see the content before we celebrate. That's why I say I received the whole thing with courteous optimism. Okoyemi, write it down.
I did.
In capital letter.
In capital letter.
Underline it.
Thank you very much. You have to be somewhere, and I actually begged you that I wanted to be fiscally present. I mean, the immediate past chief political editor at Guardian newspaper. Now I pick your course, but there's a lot for me also to take away from here. And every single Thursday will come big politics. Okay, we need to put water on standby in the studio so that the studio don't go up in flames. But it's an amazing time, and whether I would like it or not, the coalition has got a lot of work to do in terms of the presentation, in terms of the consistency in their message. I mean, Mr. Mᴜyíᴏ made it. Nigerians know what our problems are. Insecurity. There's so much instability in the economy. There's food crisis. There are, dilapidated public infrastructures. Education is not in the best of place. So we know what these problems are. What problems? Don't tell us that the roads are bad. We know they are bad. Or don't tell us that we don't even have a national carrier. A country with over 200 million people. We know that Nigeria Air was sold to us as a scam. We know that. What do you want to do? Iran, there were about less than 250 casualties from both sides. But according to statistics from Transparency International, Benue State alone had lost over. You would expect that the ADC should come out and say, okay, we know there's chaos in the North Central. We know there's insecurity in the Southeast. We know some of these problems. How do you intend to solve these problems? And maybe at some point again, have so much question marks on their head. Okay. I visited Kaduna State about 5 times. The last was just last week, Saturday, when I was in Kaduna. And the first 4 times I visited Kaduna, I were to write reports, to lead a team, and also to put up a news. It was massacre in the southern Kaduna region of that state. But I will put it, the same man that was talking bandits to stop killing their people, the people he's governing, he's also part of the coalition. Rotimi Amechi was speaker for 8 years. He was governor for 8 years, but that is going to Vienna for medical check. When you were governor for 8 years in Rivers State, did you build any world-class hospital that could check you medically? specifically when you were speaker in Rivers State for 8 years, did you facilitate any project that could help you do that? Why you were super time to build it and tell Nigerians that, hey, we're here for something different? Alhaji Atiku Abubakar is going to be 79 in November this year. By the time we're going into the election, that he wants to go back and take. He had aspired to be president on the platform of the ACM before he became APC. He had been presidential candidate of the PDP in 2019. He's been presidential candidate of PDP in 2023. What is he going back to do? So we have individuals that have a lot of questions. Hey, Hᴜsᴜ Sirika was the Minister of Aviation where the Nigerian Air was sold to Nigerians. What has he done? Rᴏᴏᴜ was minister to Kogi, to Abuja. There were jailbreaks that were being successful. So these individuals have a lot of questions marks on them, and now they have enough time to tell Nigerians that, hey, this is what we're here for. Leave whatever it is that you think about us, but let's take this country to the promise. I mean, on our social media platforms, facebook.com/mainland 98.3 FM. It is the situation. Let me take a very quick break. When we come back, the phone lines are open. We pick your calls. I would also read your messages. Stick around.
You faith. I wish there were other ways, but there is not. If there were,
in our quest to bring to the table issue-based conversation around nationhood and development, we have made 4 to 5:30 p.m. Monday to Friday the perfect time to welcome you into the Situation Room as we continue to build the narrative about public service and accountability.
Mr. President, this Senate needs to know. Mr. President, this Senate needs to lend its voice to the plight of these people. Mr. President, there is nowhere I can say it except here.
Citizens the chance to make their political decisions. Constant demand for quality leadership from those they voted into office.
Look at us now, there is nothing, we are starving. Tinubu should please do something.
It's also important to having a Nigeria of everyone's dream. Join ᴏᴜᴜᴜ as it takes to task seasoned analysts, opinion makers, business professionals, and politicians on issues around politics, policies, governance, and leadership every Monday to Friday from 4 to 5:30 p.m. on your super dial, Mainland 98.3 FM. We'll welcome you, roommates, as we discuss the situations.
Welcome back. Thank you very much. If you're joining us for the very first time, he's the immediate past head of political desk at Guardian newspaper. He joins me every Thursday. So if you miss today, make sure you don't miss next week. But Sage Babalola takes the center stage on Wednesday because we have to do midweek politics 1 to 3 p.m. So we've got so much for you guys to enjoy here. Hey, Mr. Miwadi, I said it crystal clear that the ADC had done the right. They also highlighted things that they need to do. First off, and they need to make sure that they have a solid. Do everyone have to put in place before Nigerians start saying, you know what? We trust you to take us to the promised land. 0913-600-0410. Your messages are coming in. Your text as well. Everything else we need to know. Let's talk. Hello, good evening.
Good evening to you. For even letting me to be the first speaker.
Oh, it's my pleasure to have you join us on the show today.
Question. Well, you mentioned
I can't preside for Mr. Ademi on the same show here.
And it's only Rufai that went to SDP. Atiku did not go with him. And that is the reason. And ADC you are talking about, you find out that all the people that are there now, newly joining in there now, they have input in the ADC. That is why RAF, they all held on to the chairmanship. So people have to have knowledge. Nobody has monopoly of knowledge about ADC. And let us also have a balanced analysis where who has the knowledge about it to be able to tell you.
That is why you called, and I was expecting.
Like and the people that they are criticizing their characters, they are
right now. If you find any of the opinion of any of my guests or any of the guests on all our shows here,
good evening, my friend. Thank you very much for the great work you guys are doing. Okay, you see, Nigeria is between the devil and the blue sea. Now, so that is how Nigeria are looking out to the Croatian now. Because they are seeing them, this is the only people we are now looking at, people killed within this short space of time where there are no wars, no tsunami, no any kind of disaster, just something normal security that the people that have been saddled with that responsibility should have provided. They failed to attend to that. But where they are busy planning for 2027 election, you ask, where is their conscience? And that's why it surprises me. Some people will like, let us continue from where, and they feel like, oh, those people that think maybe they are not a human being like us. Maybe they are not important. So going through, you begin to ask, the life of human being is paramount. And these people have failed in that regard. Based on that, the students have even been talking about extending their time there.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Mr. James from Agbado Junction. Thank you. The Frank from Ajegunle. I want to talk about the coalition. My take is, amongst them, the leaders of the coalition is different. David Mark, who said phone is not for the poor and plane is not for the poor. When they take over, what would happen to we the poor masses? God will show us the way out. 0913-600-0410. Keep your calls coming in. Hello, good evening. First. Hello, good evening.
Good evening. Good evening. Good evening.
You're welcome.
Yeah, this is Olayiwola.
Mr. Olayiwola, good to have you join us on the show. I mean, it's been a very cold and raining Thursday, so I'm not surprised. Thank you, I got it. This said, I'm Yusuf, advising the APC. You're discussing personalities and not their works. If there's any politician in Nigeria since 1960 from independence till today that is really Nigerian populace, so tell me more. Do we have independent candidates in Nigeria according to the constitution? So we have to do with what we have. Most of them are from the Buhari administration. Perhaps the man himself, Baba Buhari, who knows. Kayode from the cartoon says, it's quite unfortunate and it's clear that the current people who are galvanizing about politicians are all our political jobbers. Well, seriously, another way out. No reason to support any party except the APC. The coalition people are bad. But what about this current government? This current administration is really suffering the masses. Is there a challenge the APC? That's Rahim from Agege. Okay, thank you very much. Festus says, sincerely speaking, the analysis of your guest clearly shows that there's no hope politically for Nigeria. Politics of any nation that is determined is what determines. Sorry. Okay, this is Tᴜɪᴜnᴜ from Aᴅᴜᴜᴜ, and he says your guests today have simply done justice to today's topic. No doubt, having a solid perspective will do something shortly on this, if anything at all. Tinubu knows that they are not doing so much yet. They are timid and lack the guts to challenge the government in power. It is hoped that they will get better and put their hearts together within a short time and do show for the very first time. And I promise I would always listen. Okay. Thank you very much, Mr. Femi. Let's get the calls here. Hello, good evening. Okay.
I'm sorry. When it is making noise. Can I go on now?
Please go on. Let's do this 1 minute.
Okay. Now, what I just want to say is this. I like what your guest said. You ought to be. I want a very short, very put you on the toe. The moment I've started doing Baba Obasanjo. Move forward.
Thank you very much. I hope I can pick all of the messages that we have here. Sunday Olowoyo, thank you. We're working on that. Thank you very much. Akorede Olayiwaji says it would be awesome to have Adeyemi and Side Forward on midweek politics. Okay, please make it happen. My producer will not allow it. Hello, good evening.
Use how many minutes to rock article down and the coalition. No problem. If you add all the crime and the what of them, and you people are not talking it, you said you are busy reading out article did this, Abeti this. When he was governor of Lagos, what did he do? They said they should start telling Nigerians the solution.
Mr. Charles.
When they were in opposition, when PDP were in government, we are just when come on this program to read out all the opposition, then you leave your Tinubu. Tinubu lost Lagos.
Mr. Charles, let's take it easy. Take it easy, Mr. Charles. Take it easy. Okay, let's get it straight and let's get it super straight. It is my job to put the facts out for you. It's not exactly my job to decide how you take those facts. Was he a lie that I was minister for 7.5 years? So why are you bringing the game of bias here? That's the fact. I've not lied that Malam. What do you mean by I'm being biased and I'm selling bias? we wake up every single day, we deal with facts, we put it out for you to understand and decipher. What interpretation you make to those facts, I'm not super unfair, and I won't take that. Thank you very much. We respect each other's opinion, and I would always respect yours. I don't have opinion on this show. I give you facts, numbers.
Yes. You see, when we are talking about politics, I want that coalition is getting too much. You understand? To an extent that the president was describing the opposition as political identity or something like that, internally displaced people. So, you know, he believes that another country giving scholarship to other countries when people are suffering in Nigeria here. Those are and for those who are saying that those people that gathered is there now, is it not part of those who destroyed this country? He inherit a dead economy. And you can imagine how much was the price of fuel when he came to power as the president?
Less than 200 naira.
How much was our exchange rate when he came to power?
560.
And compared to today, if you are talking about the economy, agencies now are head by his friends.
Thank you.
So what are we seeing today?
Thank you.
Thank you
very much. Thank you. Let's see how far we can go with this. Hello, good evening.
Good evening, Ope. President. What strategies do they have to turn Nigeria into El Dorado? They must also understand that they are going against a president who unsacked the president in 2015 and in 20 understands the good, the bad, and the ugly. He can also see and read problems from 1,000 miles. And as I continue to say, the strange bedfellows who have brought themselves together, would they really be able to work with politics from bottom to top? It is harder for you to be able to break them down.
Thank you.
Social media is very,
Thank you very much. Well, okay, Temitayo Notoye from Ijagemo. I watched the video of the governor of Lagos State, Governor Sanwo-Olu, was in Kotun, I think yesterday, to commission some project, and he specifically made mention of the fact that the Ijagemo road is under construction and they will soon be done. I hope we sorted that part. Thank you very much. It to be formed rather than joining an existing party, which may likely have come up with litigations, which is the crisis most political parties in Nigeria have experienced under this present administration, is nothing but living in hell on earth. I expect the coalition party to begin to carry out more publicity about the party, if it's possible, to form a new one and also roll out strategies to fine-tune the country. God bless Nigeria. You're welcome.
They have packages and everything that they take and they support. ᴜᴜ is the one that makes people to become president today.
Wow.
Because you stand left and right for that note to get what they can't say get packages. Today now they can't packages for that.
Thank you. I'm trying to understand what Mr. Desmond means that Rufai made Tinubu president. But hey, if the president can also come out to say he made the former president, then hey, every show today, tomorrow we'll continue our series as we build up to the 2025 July 12 local government election in Lagos. As the chairman and 3 councillors from Labour Party Etiosa local government will be joining me on the situation tomorrow from 30, and by 6 o'clock, Agbatwami and I would come back to take you through the world of sport on Sports Cruise. My name is Okoyemi Akinyode. Thank you for joining us. This program returns tomorrow, same time, 4 p.m. and same station on your